Tyler Young.
For Tyler Young, racing has been a major part of his life, a dream come true for such a young man.
I started racing go-karts when I was 8, and there was always something me and my family did together. Me and my brother grew up racing and had our support from our whole family. We'd always go together and stuff, and it just kind of grew from there. And then moved to North Carolina in 2008 to kind of chase the dream of being a race car driver, and it's really fell into play, and it's coming true, and I'm loving every minute of it.
As most young people go after a dream, those who attain that dream often have the support of their family, and that is no different for Tyler.
Absolutely, yeah. I've had a lot of family support, which has been big support and big help. My dad's helped me a lot, and my mom, everybody's been real supportive, and they come to a bunch of races, and it really helps my future, and it helps me do what we're able to do each week.
This year, Young and his team are racing their third full season in the Truck Series and currently sit in the 5th spot in the point standings.
The Truck Series has been great for not only me, but Young's Motorsports in general. This is our third full season in it, and I feel like we get to go to all the big tracks, and I've learned so much, mile and a half, and the aero and how it plays in part. You get to go to Daytona and Talladega, so it's really key, in pit stops and stuff, so it's really key to development for the future as far as me as a driver.
While Tyler credits his family with a lot of his success, he knows his success on the track is due to the dedication of those in the shop.
Absolutely, yeah. I think everybody here, they're all just racers, Every employee we have is just love to race and be a part of it, and they have to be able to do everything because it's 6 full-time guys, and they got to work long hours, and it's not what the big teams do, and it's fun because it's a small net group, and we have a lot of fun, but we get all our work done, and we enjoy it. And I tell you what, they're some of my best friends, and we just work hard and go to the racetrack and try to do the best we can each week, and it's really been a lot of fun the last couple of years, and we got a good group of guys here this year, and we're really getting along good, and really looking forward to see how the season goes.
No matter how the rest of the 2016 season goes, Tyler Young and Young Motorsports has earned the respect of the others at the track.
Yeah, I think we've gained a lot of respect from each other and from others, and it's really good for us and for the whole organization because we are just a small mom and pop team, and to be able to go and race them guys, the KBMs and BKRs, it really says a lot about us and the team as a whole.
In Mooresville, North Carolina, reporting for Raceline, I'm Jeff Taylor.
Raceline invites you to join us on Facebook and Twitter. We're at facebook.com/RacelineTV and on Twitter at RacelineTV. Also on the World Wide Web at RacelineOnline.com. More of today's Raceline is coming up.
Life as a spokes box is great. People love me for saving them over $500,000 when they switched to Progressive. So I'm dabbling in new ventures. It was board game night with the Dalai Lama. Great guy, terrible player. Go play for less, don't stress, girl. I got the discount that you need. It's a balancing act, but I gotta give the people what they want. More bucks.
Any words for the critics?
What can I say? Critty's gonna neg.
What?
I'm Dustin.
Hi, and I'm Candace from C&D Family Farm, and we want you to come in and check out our new big super mega store.
Hi, I'm Cowboy Drake. And Candace is right. We've got a bigger showroom, better selection, and a lot more to choose from. Bigger big screen TV, better laptops, more game systems.
We've got a huge selection of power tools. Cowboy Drake, can you say hot tub?
Oh yeah, 'cause we got one. And a wide variety of musical instruments. He's always tooting his horn.
Come and see the new, bigger location at C&D Family Pond, 650 Piney Forest Road, Danville, Virginia.
Folks, a big thank you for giving us one of the best months we've ever had in the history of Tri-City Jeep, Kia, Dodge here in Eden. Could not have done it without you. The comments were, the eggs really are a little cheaper in the country, and I'd like to hear that. We've got brand new Sorrentos, the big discounts, 0%, 60 months. Don't forget about our 110%. Put your money where your mouth is guarantee. It's very simple. Any dealership, comparable vehicle, if we can't beat that price, daggone it, we're going to give you 110% of the difference. Take a look at this. Brand new Kia Souls, $13,990. Brand new 2016s. That's only in Eden, US of A.
When you talk about Martinsville Speedway, thoughts automatically go to Hendrick Motorsports. With 23 wins there, that's quite understandable. Hendrick's active leader in wins there is Jimmie Johnson with 8 wins, most recently in this race in 2013.
Jimmy, you have quite the collection of Martinsville grandfather clocks in your home, and everybody knows you're the team to beat there. I'll take a guess that you're pretty excited to be going back on Sunday.
Yeah, Joe, I'm really excited to come to Martinsville and race. I have 8 great clocks sitting at my house and want to make it 9. This track puts on such a great race, such a key part of the NASCAR season. Really looking forward to getting here this spring and hopefully winning another race.
All right, everybody wants to know, what's the secret you and the Hendrick Motorsports team have found at Martinsville?
You know, the magic took a while to find, and it actually took being lapped by Tony Stewart to find the rhythm and understand how to drive around this racetrack. And it is such a rhythm racetrack. And I can't dance, and I couldn't get it right at the start. Once I kind of identified with how to get around this racetrack, things changed for me, and it's been really good.
Jimmy, what's the toughest part of Martinsville Speedway for you? I know there's a lot of them to choose from, but what is the biggest obstacle to you?
Yeah, you have to be on your toes here at this racetrack. On the track, depending on where you are during a restart, you know, you can have issues with the whole field stopping in front of you and drive in there and damage your car, which I did last fall. Running up front, you know, it's not easy to run consecutive fast laps around here, so getting in the rhythm is really important. If you're too greedy on corner entry and clip the curb, you're going to cost yourself a couple tenths. It's really painful in qualifying if you do that, and for some guys it might mean that they've missed a show. Then you come to pit road and it's tight. There's really one good pit stall, which is the one the pole sitter always takes. But you know, amongst all of the chaos and the tight quarters, it's short track racing, and it's just a great racetrack.
Jimmy, good luck at Martinsville Sunday. Thanks again for joining us today on Raceline.
Great, thank you.
Jimmie Johnson, already a 2-time winner this year, and without a doubt, the man to beat at Martinsville on Sunday. So, is Jimmy your man to beat at Martinsville?
As a matter of fact, he is. Again, I got lucky this week. I get to pick Jimmie Johnson. 8 victories there, the winningest active driver at Martinsville Speedway. Hendrick is king at Martinsville, and Jimmy is the king of them all.
Tiffany, the 24 car has been to victory lane at Martinsville 9 times. This weekend, they'll visit it for the 10th time as Chase Elliott gets his first win in the Sprint Cup Series. Now here's the postman with his pick.
Jeff, I think you have the right team, but I think you have the wrong number. I think that Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to carry the 88 to victory lane at Martinsville. And Joe, you know what else? It will be very, very popular.
You think? You think that'll be popular? They'll tear the place down if Junior wins. But I'm not going to go with Hendrick Motorsports. I'll be the lone exception to all the voting here today. I'm going to go back over to Joe Gibbs Racing and talk about Denny Hamlin. He won this race last year, and Denny has a total of 5 victories at Martinsville. I say Denny picks up the win on Sunday.
So there's our picks for this week. I have Jimmie Johnson, Jeff picked Chase Elliott, Postman is going with Dale Earnhardt Jr., and you are the only person not picking a Hendrick car, going with Denny Hamlin at Joe Gibbs Racing.
We'll find out on Sunday. Next week on Raceline, we'll saddle up and head to Texas for the 7th race of the year. We'll preview that one with Brad Keselowski crew chief Paul Wolf and bring you highlights from Martinsville as well. See you next week on Raceline.
Raceline is brought to you in HD by Progressive Insurance. Comparing rates to help you save? Now that's Progressive. And by Z-Max, the one product for your engine, fuel system, and transmission. Raceline is produced in Chesapeake, Virginia by Raceline Productions, Stargazer Media, and Jomo Incorporated. Find out more about us at RacelineOnline.com or at Facebook.com/RacelineTV. I'm Jeff Moreau.
If you're having back pain, neck pain, headaches, we can help.
If you've been in a car accident, don't cover up with pain pills. Get to the root of the problem. Come see us here at Dr. Hill's. Look at all the people we just helped today. Stop pain.
My staff and family would like to say thank you for letting us serve you for the past 20 years. Call us. We can stop the pain.
Real local, WGSR 47.1 in high definition.
Will be on your head.
We have to find McCowan before he finds the president.
We're going to kill him slowly and broadcast it live.
Yeah, but you should have brought more men.
I will not be executed as propaganda. You don't let them take me. If it comes to it, I want you to kill me. That's an order. London is just the first stop. Just imagine every major city descending into chaos. Your president dies tonight.
To those who threaten our freedom, America will rise up.
All right, here we go.
And make no mistake, we will find you. And we will destroy you.
Mike, we're getting you out. Go, go, go! Roof down, 3 o'clock! Brace right back.
Oh, my God.
Been a really good track for us, but really the last 10 days or so, it's been like itching to just get back here because it's such a fun race for me, and obviously we have a lot of high expectations, and I come here just it's very similar to when I was racing in go-karts way back in the day, and like all the WK Nationals would come to my home track, and it was like, all right, I've got a chance to beat them because I know this track, and it's kind of like that, it's the best comes to town, and even though it just feels like I race here every week, I don't know why, it's just my first lap on the track just feels like I've run a million laps here.
All right, we'll open it up for questions. Please state your name and affiliation. We'll get a microphone to you. We'll start here in the front with Jeff.
Jeff Buck from USA Today. With Gordon gone out of the picture, who do you consider to be your biggest threats, your biggest challengers here?
Myself. I mean, I don't know how many pit road penalties I've had at this racetrack. Why I choose to push it on pit road, I don't know, knowing that I've got the speed on the racetrack that we've shown. I think I've had at least 2 in the last bunch of races. I mean, just consecutively. So that's been a challenge. And last year in the fall race, I beat up my car pretty good trying to come back through the pack on the second time. Maybe it was the first time that I had a penalty. And so I think it's just me just kind of mentally, being a little bit more cautious on pit road and making sure that I've got a car that can finish the race with all 4 fenders.
Okay, we'll go to Bob, Nate, and then Claire.
Bob Pockers, ESPN. Having won the Daytona 500, does that take any pressure off? Kind of maybe needing to win here. And as far as pit road goes, is there a feeling that maybe you just make your lights so that you can't speed and just not push it on pit road, or can you not give up that type of spot?
Well, you can't if you're going to win, especially if it's the bonehead things that I've done. I've had my penalties early in the race where what does it really matter on lap 80 if you gain 1 spot on pit road? You've got so many laps to do it. So luckily most of my penalties have been early in the race, but still it takes its toll on the car to have to come through the pack multiple times. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it too is that we typically qualify pretty well here, so then we're trying to play some timing lines on pit road, and you can get a bunch, but you also can lose a bunch if you mess it up and speed like I have. So I think that really qualifying good has hurt us. It's put us in the position to give us the option to go for it on pit road at times when probably backing off would have been smarter. Well, it doesn't. It just, I mean, it makes me like hungry. I look at the next 6 races and I'm like, if I don't win 2 of them, like I'll probably be disappointed. So I just think that we're kind of getting in the swing of things. Minor Wheels relationships really, getting there. Even though we've worked together for a really long time, we're starting to get really on the same page and getting the cars like I like to drive them. So I'm pretty optimistic for obvious reasons, but really look at this point of the schedule as let's take advantage and get some wins and get some bonus points for the first round.
Nate?
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. Denny, can I get away from Martinsville a little bit? I presume you probably haven't had too many drivers' council meetings yet this year. But one of the big topics of discussion before the Daytona 500 was about the purse money changing and not releasing the info as much anymore and how that would impact drivers' salaries. Have you heard any feedback from other drivers? Has it affected you? Have you guys noticed anything 5 races into the season about how things are being affected in terms of revenue streams?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think it was meant to be an open book at the beginning between RTA and the drivers, or the teams and their drivers. I don't know that some teams were as forthcoming as maybe what ours were, but I think that really everyone had to just essentially renegotiate a fair purse amount, and I think that everyone's different. Everyone's all over the board, So I just, it's tough to say. I mean, I think that everything is better. The way that they've formatted the purse now, and it's kind of a linear line versus a weird-looking line. But, I mean, I don't know. I think that some fans like to see that. I know us drivers, I think that we like to see purses posted, personally. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter whether you post it or not. It's sometimes when you win a race, it's cool to see, I did good this week. So, I don't know. But I think that everyone's different. Everyone's always been different. But I think that when this happened, it forced everyone to go back to the drawing board and figure out what was a fair amount, because the buckets got switched around a whole lot as far as purses are concerned. But I think in the end, we're all out here, and I think that everyone feels like they have a fair deal at this point. So it's all for the better, I believe. It's just my opinion. Yeah, we would like to see the numbers posted. I think they're considering it. I think if everyone knows what they're getting, I mean, I don't know what the benefit is from keeping it from the public. I don't know, but there's probably some kind of reason that I don't know about.
Okay, we'll go over to Claire and then back over to the right.
Claire Belang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. It's really hard to believe that Kyle Busch hasn't won in any form of racing at Martinsville. And I sort of envision him coming to your office or coming to you or your motor coach and saying, okay, tell me more of your secrets. You share, but you're so dang good here, right? So is it hard for you to believe that people like Matt Kenseth say this place just drives them crazy, or that Kyle Busch, such a good racer, hasn't won here? And what can you teach your teammate about it?
I've been an open book to my teammates for sure, and I think that everyone's run better in the last few years for sure. It is hard to believe. My guess is that it has a pretty good chance to change on Saturday about Kyle, because I think he is running this race, isn't he? Or is he not? So I'd say he's got a pretty good chance on Saturday. But he's been in position at times on Sundays, but for whatever reason, it just hasn't happened. I mean, there's many tracks like that for me. I mean, he's won a few more races than what I have in my career, but there are tracks where I run extremely strong, but just never won at. So, but I'm an open book really to anyone that wants to chat, and as long as I'm not racing against them, if they're not my teammate, that is. So. But it's he's good, and he's a great short track racer. He runs late models all over the place and wins a lot of races. So I'm sure he'll have his clock sooner or later.
that you want to keep for yourself? Is there anything that you just, gosh, that one little tidbit?
Not keeping one or two things to myself, I feel like has cost me wins. I shared some things at Richmond with some teammates, and they went out and beat me with it. Recently in the last few years. So, but I just never been a believer of keeping something under my hat. I just feel like if we're a team, and that's what makes our Joe Gibbs Racing team so strong, is that I feel like if I ask Carl a question or ask Matt a question or Kyle, I expect them to give me the 100% honest answer and tell me everything. Don't leave this part out or that part out. And I just feel like if I do that same to them, then when I really need that information, I'll get it back. So it's cost me here and there, but I tell you what, probably the information I've gotten on other tracks has probably gotten me a win or two. So I think it all evens out.
Denny, over here to your far right.
Hey, Denny. Nathan Waters with the Fredericksburg Freelance Star. Short track racing, I know coming here brings back some memories of racing at Southside or South Boston. I'm wondering, for you, the appeal of those regional tracks, the short track, the atmosphere, all that kind of stuff, what's the biggest appeal to you? And tell me how that kind of molded you as a driver racing at tracks like that.
I'm not really sure what the appeal was. I mean, I just remember going, to my first race when I was about 5 years old at a local short track and just being, infatuated with some of the local stars, and just thinking if I could just make it to the top level at my local short track on Friday night, like I would be really, really happy. I'd feel like I'd made it. So, those tracks is what makes the sport. I mean, it's the home tracks is such a crucial part of NASCAR racing. It's where these young drivers that are coming up now are coming from. And really, I wish there was a healthier model. I think that NASCAR itself and the Cup Series, and it's kind of trickling down to the other series, has gotten good about watching costs and trying to cut costs here and there. But, I think the local short tracks still struggle with car count. And that's something that wasn't a factor in the 90s and early 2000s. And now I think that some tracks struggle. And so, how you get the fans to come out on the local side, it's just, I think it's a different generation now. Everyone's on their phones, and whatever generation is that 16 to 25 now, or whatever you call them. They're into Snapchat and Instagram. They're not into the local short tracks quite as much, but it's important we keep those short tracks strong because that's the feeder series to get here. Biggest thing I learned is I had to fix everything I wrecked. And so I think that, I was very patient back then, and I feel like I'm pretty patient now in not using up equipment because even though I know I don't have to fix it anymore, I appreciated what it took to put it all back together.
Got time for one final question over here on the left.
Yeah, Denny Al Pierce from Auto Week back here in the ghetto. Well, it is the ghetto if you look, I know that the downforce package will not be a big factor here, but generally speaking, y'all happy with it so far?
We're happy. I think there's probably a group that's searching for more off, and I think that that'd be a great goal for us in the future, maybe next year, maybe the year after, wherever it may be, to get these corner speeds even slower. Surprisingly though, looking at the lap times, I mean we're 2 to 3 tenths off where we were last year with the same tire, and all we've done is change the aero package. So I don't know why speeds are a little bit slower, but anytime we can get the spoiler down or get it down in size, it's definitely going to help no matter what track you're at. So I think that overall, the majority, if not all, the drivers love the new package. It has given us the ability to see comers and goers, guys that take off at the beginning of the run and they come on back at the end. And that's just, it just feels like we're back to driving these race cars like we were 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
You got it.
Denny, thank you very much. Good luck this weekend.
huge estate and personal property auction located at the Horse Pasture Fire Department, 17815 A.L. Philpott Highway, Ridgeway, Virginia, Route 58 west of Martinsville. Items include rifles and shotguns, gold and silver jewelry, including a 1.75 carat ladies' diamond ring, jukeboxes, slot machines, game machine, nice furniture, including a Wurlitzer walnut organ, 1800s walnut grandfather clock, Hummel figurine collection, cast iron, quilts, clock collection, vintage toys, just too many items to mention. Doors open at 8 a.m. day of sale. Preview is Friday, April 1st from 4 to 6 p.m. For listing and pictures, visit us at www.auctionzip.com. Williams Auction Company, 276-340-6441.
My dad, Calvin Barker, started Barker's Auto Salvage on April 1st, 1976. We're celebrating our 40th year this year. We are family owned and operated. The owner is Rosie Barker, which is my mom. My husband, Kenneth, is the manager here, and I'm Deborah Mevis. Of course, I come to work for my husband 12 years ago. My mom had doubts, wondering if we would get along with each other, and she told me if it caused any problems whatsoever, she was going to fire me. And I didn't quite understand that because I am her daughter. But she told me Kenny is in charge no matter what. So anytime anybody comes in, this is the boss.
And they have done a fantastic job, both of them, and I'm proud of them.
To celebrate, on April the 1st, we're giving away $200 that day. And then from April the 2nd through the 29th, everyone that comes in and makes a purchase, their name will go into a pot. And on the 29th of April, we're giving away $300.
Bags, belts. I'm going crazy. We've got the belts. We've got Kirby bags, Filter Queen, Electrolux, Oric. These you have to order. I've got it all. We even have vacuum bags for your mother's GE, which is old school. We have got the products. We got the roller brushes. We got the service. We got the parts. We got the repairs, full repairs on all models. We have shampoos. We have shampoo rentals. We have mops. We have a lot of things other than just vacuums and heaters. 1645 Virginia Avenue, 2 doors above sports lanes. Come see us soon.
You can do it. New College Institute can help. Earn your bachelor's or master's degree from one of our partner universities. Get workforce credentials using one-of-a-kind equipment to expand your career opportunities. Or host your next meeting, conference, or social event at our premier facilities. Get started today. Stay close, go far at New College Institute in Martinsville, Virginia.
Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 2nd at 10 a.m. when Williams Auction Company will have a huge estate and personal property auction located at the Horse Pasture Fire Department, 17815 A.L. Philpott Highway, Ridgeway, Virginia, Route 58 west of Martinsville. Items include rifles and shotguns, gold and silver jewelry, including a 1.75 carat ladies' diamond ring, jukeboxes, slot machines, game machine, nice furniture, including a Wurlitzer walnut organ, 1800s walnut grandfather clock, Hummel figurine collection, cast iron, quilts, clock collection, vintage toys, just too many items to mention. Doors open at 8 a.m. day of sale. Preview is Friday, April 1st from 4 to 6 p.m. For listing and pictures, visit us at www.auctionzip.com. Williams Auction Company, 276-340-6441.
Summertime's here and you're going to do a lot of traveling, you need the Autotech check. Don't let your brakes have you coming to a stop. You need the Autotech check. Don't let your belt have you broken down at the beach. Get the Autotech check. Don't let a bad tire ruin your vacation. Get the Autotech check. Don't let some strange noise cause you to break down on your trip. Get the Autotech check. Why should you come to Autotech? For our service, knowledge, and special hour warranty. 5 years, 60,000 miles. Come see us at Autotech. Don't settle for any check. You need the Autotech check.
We're now joined by Dale Earnhardt Jr., driver of the number 88 Nationwide Chevrolet. Dale has a Martinsville driver rating of 99.4, which makes this his best track on the schedule. But before we take questions, Dale, you have a program going on through the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Foundation that kicks off this weekend. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're working with a Nationwide Children's Hospital to raise money for the hospital. Last year we did this gloves program where we wore a pair of gloves each month and auctioned them off on eBay. And this year we're doing that again, and we're going to do it 4 months this year. This is the first month where we're wearing blue gloves all month for autism awareness. And so we're really excited to be able to announce that program. And we've thought of different ways to get creative each year. We've done a little bit differently each year to try to raise as much money and awareness as we can. So look forward to releasing more information throughout the season as we go along. But this will be the first month, and we hope to be able to raise a lot of money. If we can win a few races, it definitely makes those gloves a little more valuable. So that puts a little pressure on the team and myself, but it's good pressure.
We'll now open it up for questions. Please raise your hand, state your name and affiliation. We'll get a microphone to you. We'll start over here with Claire B. Lang.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Dale, why do you think this is your best track? You know, people would assume it was a restrictor plate track or something, and when you hear that, it almost doesn't even make sense, but it is. Why do you think you're so good here?
I don't know. I didn't know it was my best. But I love the short tracks. You know, for a long time there, maybe about 10 years ago, in a little span of about 3 or 4 years, we were getting more points at the short tracks than any other team, and we were running consistently in the top 5. I think we had a string of 4 to 6 top 5s in a row at Martinsville at one particular point. I love short track racing, and we don't get to do a lot of it, so that makes you love it more. And that's you know, the less is more kind of mentality I think works. And for me there, being able to come to these tracks and only knowing you're only going to get a run here a few times, run a couple short tracks throughout the season a few times, it makes you really appreciate it and work hard, and it makes you, you know, really try to take care of the car, to run all the laps and get everything out of it you can, just because it's so much fun to begin with. I have ran with some great programs here. Obviously, Hendrick is had a lock on this place for a long time, and that really makes us look good when we get in those cars, because they're always going to be great race cars. So I look forward to Sunday. I think we showed in the first practice that we have some pretty good pace and race trim. We're struggling in qualifying trim again, but we're going to work on that, and Greg's in there changing things and throwing up ideas on the whiteboard, and we're going to see what works.
Okay, we'll go to Bob, Jeff, and then Nate.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. As far as the tweet about donating your brain to science, is that something that you've knew you're going to do, or is that something new? And what would you want to learn, or what would you hope people would learn from your brain?
Yeah, hopefully they don't have to look at my brain. You know, whenever I pass away, they've learned enough in the science to study the brains of living adults, but hopefully the science has advanced enough to where that they no longer need to be poking around inside my brain. But I was inspired really by Brenda Chastain and the Raiders guys that donated their brain in honor of their teammate. I went through my experience in 2012 and met some amazing doctors at the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. Mickey Collins was one of those guys, and they gave me the confidence going through that process that I could be successful and get through it, and I have. I've been healthy and successful, and I learned a ton. I may be even a better race car driver today, and I'm definitely getting the results on the track that I've always wanted. So I will be donating my brain, or pledging my brain is what they like to say, to the Concussion Legacy Foundation, and they are in partnership with Boston University, where the brain bank is. And so that's and it's something that I was a donor already for many years, as my driver's license would attest, and so it seemed like a reasonable thing to do for me. So anything that I can do to to help others. But hopefully the science is advanced far beyond where it is today, and they don't need it. But it was something that I didn't have to ask myself, whether I wanted to do it or not. Going through that process in 2012, I learned so much and have so much respect for the work that those doctors are doing, and really was inspired by some of the athletes that have pledged their brains before me.
Jeff?
Jeff Buck from USA Today. Your tweet the other night, was it a spur of the moment thing where you were sort of reacting to something you saw, and then all of a sudden it's on like NBC Nightly?
Yeah, right. That's exactly. Yeah, I saw a story. We obviously had the week off, and I was just sitting around reading Twitter and saw that story about the Raiders donating their brain, and I just thought that was amazing that those guys did that in honor of their teammate. So, and I read where Brandy had done that maybe a month ago, and so that just was really inspiring. And I saw someone mention, I don't even know what the context of the tweet I was responding to was, but I just felt that I probably should have. Mike Davis would prefer me to have done that in more, put together fashion where we could have put together a release or whatever. But it just was. I just was in the moment of conversation, and that's sometimes the comfort that you find yourself in on Twitter sometimes. And I didn't expect it to turn into the story it did. But by all means, if it raises more awareness and inspires people to donate their brains and plays their brains, they don't need just athletes. They need everybody. So I'm going to give up all the organs that are worth anything when it's over with, so they can have it all.
Okay. Nick.
Yeah, I got in touch with the Concussion Legacy Foundation, and they helped me understand exactly what the process is, and it's very straightforward. You get a card, basically like you would carry around a driver's license where it says you're a donor on the license. There'll be a card in your pocket that you carry in your driver's license, and your family can refuse. Nothing's binding. So it's really just a promise in a way. And you share that information with your family so they're aware, and when this comes up, if you happen to pass untimely or what have you, if this comes up, someone will contact them, and they can refuse. Nothing's binding. So it's very easygoing, comfortable thing for me. And I'm looking forward to having an opportunity when we go to New Hampshire, maybe to go up to Boston University and talk to some people up there with the brain bank and learn more. I'm really excited or passionate, I guess, a little bit to know more about it and understand the whole process. Certainly want to know everything you can do. That's a very serious and personal decision. So it'd be interesting to go up there and see the bank and understand more.
Okay, we'll go to Nate and then back to Andrew.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. Dale, obviously concussions, not just in sports, but in racing have been a hot topic recently, especially with Will Power's misdiagnosis at St. Pete. Jimmy Johnson said this morning that he feels that is an example of there need to be better protocols for IndyCar and NASCAR to ensure you don't have misdiagnosis. I know you saw what Brad Keselowski said about how he feels as if doctors aren't well versed enough yet to make those diagnoses, and he's not sure if professional sports should put faith in them and the medical community's advice. Where do you stand on all that? Is there a need for better at-track testing, and do you view it differently than the way Brad does, where it seems like he's not sure he's ready to trust doctors, but you would probably look at it from a different perspective in that you did trust the doctors, and like you said, you got better 4 years ago.
Yeah, I see the argument in reverse, whereas most concussions are self-diagnosed, and as a driver, I think the real purpose of the conversation should be to help drivers, football players, whoever it is, to understand that it's okay to self-diagnose and go get help. And I feel very good about the protocols that are in place, and they've stepped up, and they've gotten more like using the impact test. I believe in the impact test and what it's used for and how it's used, and I think it's a great tool not only for understanding a concussion or trying to diagnose a concussion, but it's also a great tool to treat the concussion. Once you have been diagnosed and understand that you have the concussion, how to treat it, because concussions are like snowflakes. There's no two concussions that are the same, and so each one deals with certain parts of the body, and to be able to use that impact test helps you understand how to treat that particular concussion. And so I think the protocols and the advances that we've made in trying to protect ourselves are great things, and I'm excited about what NASCAR has done. They're really taking this head on. They're talking to the right people. They're talking and involving themselves with the right folks to get the best information to be able to protect the drivers the best way they can.
Back to Andrew on your left.
It'll just get better. The same way everything else in the sport progresses. Look at the interior of the car, for example, and how it's changed. I mean, the more information we get from the doctors, the better equipped we are to protect ourselves. I feel good about it. So I understand some of the drivers' concerns, but going through the process myself really helped me understand exactly what everything's there for and how to use it.
Andrew Dowd, Fox Sports back here. Question about racing here at Martinsville. Short track like this, a pit road as challenging as this. Can you just talk to us a little bit about the importance of staying patient, hitting your marks, and how quickly things can change? You try to eliminate some of those mistakes here.
Yeah, it looks pretty straightforward as far as racetracks go, but there's little things about each corner, and the exit of 4 is so different than the exit of 2. Looks identical, but inside the car, they're two different corners. There's some bumps getting into turn 3 that you don't really deal with in turn 1. So in qualifying, you can overdrive the car and get the front hopping into the center. And I don't qualify well anywhere, but I've struggled here as well. But I race great, so I don't understand how to sort of marry the two and make both of them great. But there's certainly a lot more to it, than what you see visually. Watching a car go around the track, as far as the marks, the braking, the lifting, and everything that you're doing to get the car down in the corner. So it's a real challenge, but in the race you sort of get in repetition. Qualifying, you have to go out there and make it happen with blind faith that the car is going to do exactly what your mind thinks it's going to do. And in the race, you can run a lap, that didn't really work. Let me try this, and let me move around and do this. And I feel like that's my strength once I'm in the car in the race, is I can adjust what I'm doing to get the car to work. And in qualifying, we struggle with that. But it's definitely a track where you can get in a good rhythm. But, yeah, if you don't focus on marks and what you're doing, you can certainly get yourself in trouble and very inconsistent. And guys are all around you. You don't get a break here. So if somebody gets a nose under you, you can get trained and lose several spots over the next few laps.
Okay, we've got time for just one more question. Hank?
Hank Curtis with AP. Dale, how much do you hope that your kind of celebrity status, and you've obviously looked into this brain stuff a lot more than most people do. They just want to be told you can play, you can't play. How much do you hope that your announcement that you're going to do this kind of inspires other people to do it?
That would be awesome if it inspires other people to do it. Even, I've talked with people within my own family, and they've been inspired to learn more. So that's a good feeling, and I think that's the sort of benefit that the Concussion Legacy Foundation is looking for when someone with some notoriety makes that sort of decision. So hopefully it does a lot of good. It's very uncomfortable for me to be in that sort of light in any shape or form. Anytime I get a little too much attention, I get a little nervous. But I want to do the right thing, and having gone through that experience in 2012, I've been really inspired by what I've seen since then. From other people, so it was a no-brainer for me, and they don't need just athletes, they don't need people that just play sports. They need brains from all over, and but again, like I say, hopefully I'm going to live 40, 50 more years, and the science has progressed so much that they don't need it. But if they do, it's there.
Great. Dale, thank you so much for your time. Good luck this weekend.
Don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again. Ever.
I'm not talking about that family.
Coming in March, it's the Sweet 16.
It's not basketball. Welcome to the Simplicity family. The Sweet 16. 16 of the best vacuums you've ever seen. Vacuums that fit your cleaning needs. Only at Haley's Vacuum.
Stop by and meet the family man.
And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. Who is the beast, and what is his mark?
We invite you to come and study the book of Revelation with us Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. at the Church of Christ at 823 Starland Avenue, Martinsville, Virginia.
This is John Sauer. I'm the host of a new TV program, Inside the Paranormal Virginia, debuting on March 28th, Monday nights at 8 p.m. We're going to be talking about ghosts, Bigfoot, aliens, all kind of things that are mysterious, things that are strange. You're going to love it. Tune in and watch. It's starting to get scared already.
Colors on Parade. Did you know that Colors on Parade is a mobile paint and jet repair company? Most repairs can be completed in one day at your location and usually below your insurance deductible, allowing you to keep your premiums low. Colors on Parade provides many repairs, including touch-up, clear coat, scratch removal, panel and bumper repairs, and refinishing. We can match your vehicle's factory paint, blending the repair so the damaged area disappears. Call Colors on Parade for convenient service and a quality repair. Call or visit colorsva.com.
Hi there. Make sure that you come out to Barker's Auto Salvage beginning the month of April. All month long, we're doing 40% off. Yes, 40% off. Come out and help us celebrate our 40 years in business. There will be specials all month long. That is a secret at the moment. We're going to have T-shirts giveaway, different prizes, hats, and so forth. So please come out and help us celebrate our milestones.
He doesn't.
He does.
He doesn't.
He does. Kerchak. Kirk needs his own car. One less monkey in the barrel.
No, he doesn't. Collar is not safe.
It's safer than them vines. What you need is this 2016 Kia, 5-star safety rating, and a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Check us out online, autosbynelson.com. Tarzan the Musical, April 21st through May 1st.
It's time for friends. Short track racing, fun, action, grandfather clocks, greatness. It's time for Martinsville, the STP 500 race weekend, April 1st through 3rd at Martinsville Speedway. Tickets are on sale now. Call 877-RACE-TICKS or visit martinsvillespeedway.com to purchase yours.
I'm Dare Kennett.
I'm Jimmy Kennett.
And this is Sweetie. If you want a reliable car, see Jimmy or Dare Kennett at Kennett Used Cars.
Use your tax refund as a down payment.
We finance good credit, bad credit, no credit. If you have a full-time job, you are approved, and you will ride. If you draw disability or Social Security, we can help you. See us at 6232 Virginia Avenue, Bassett, Virginia, 276-629-4499. I'm Dare Kennett, and I dare you to get a better deal anywhere else.
Okay, folks, coming to you live from Martinsville Speedway, Charles Rourke here, as we're coming to you from the Fanatic shopping area. It's kind of like a Walmart of race goods, but it's incredible. Like right here behind me, we have the whole Hendricks group, starting with Dale Earnhardt Jr., who has, looks like he's got 4 slots for him. So in other words, if you go in the tent area here, it makes you straight available to, you go to Dale Earnhardt Goodies here, and they've got die-cast cars, headwear, women's and kids, and all kind of assortments. But right up under there, you can see the 88 all over the place. Of course, that means that Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the top seller. Right beside of him is his teammate, Jimmie Johnson. Check it out. You can get all of his paraphernalia, but it's reduced down to just one section. And then, of course, more of the Hendrick team alongside there. And it's picking up here. Of course, time trials are beginning in the next few moments as we're coming to you from the Speedway. But this is where fans go to get their latest souvenirs, and they do have the latest stuff here. It's all sanctioned and all sorts of stuff, and it's official. If you look closer there, we'll zoom in, and we can see where Jimmie Johnson was Spider-Man, because Jimmy was Spider-Man and Dale Earnhardt Jr. was Batman last week at the race, and they had them battling each other. But if you look closer, you see Spider-Man there? Not Spider-Man, but Superman. I'm sorry. Superman. Yeah, I'm getting it all messed up. Superman and Batman. There we go. But you can get the T-shirts with him as the official Superman, and of course he won the race, so he really got to pull that off. He actually jumped into the crew like he was Superman. But anyhow, so you want to get the latest souvenirs, this is the place to do it. I always get a chance to talk to some race fans over here. I'm gonna see what's hot to them. Come over here, guys, real quick. Got some race fans coming up here. You know I love talking to race fans. And then I got the man here coming in the next second. How you doing, sir?
How are you?
Hey, man. You love coming to Martinsville?
Absolutely.
What do you love about it?
It's close to home and the small town atmosphere. It's right in the middle of the houses.
Right. Y'all got any souvenirs yet? Show me what you got. Oh, I bet you went to the Legends booth. Show me that real quick. Can you show that real quick? Hot, hot, hot. That is cool, and it has that rustic look to it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. And then you get to go right to the checkout booth over here, where a lot of local people work in the booths. So that's kind of cool. But I got Chris over here. I love talking to you, man, because you always know what's going on.
I try anyway.
Yeah, right. Hey, what's hot this year under the tents here?
Wow. A little bit of Tony Stewart because he's last year. Right. Kind of the same thing that happened with Jeff Gordon last year. A lot of people, Tony's not racing right now. Not racing right now, but you can kind of see the build the second half of the season when he comes back. A lot of people's making plans to go to the racetracks. We hear it from all the fans. I can't wait to see Tony race his last race at Indy or somewhere of that nature. So that's kind of starting to build. Of course, you got the championship product with Kyle Busch. He had a pretty good increase this year. People love the M&M's brand.
I got to ask you. I mean, the fact that we got Dale Earnhardt Jr. and he's got 4 big posters. Does that mean he sells 4 times as much?
Absolutely. So you think we're crazy?
Right.
Dale Jr. is, he's the king of licensing. Let's just face it. Every year, he's got the Earnhardt name. He's got the brand. He's got the look. I mean, it helps that he wins. We're looking for that first championship. Hope it comes sooner or later. I like what I see from Junior. A lot of more maturity, a lot of things that's happened. Amy probably has a lot to do with that.
Right.
His dad would probably be really proud. We had a lot of conversations about him growing older when he was 20. Wished he would have grown older a little bit sooner, but that's another conversation.
You can't push it.
I can't push it, but that's great. I like what I see from Junior.
Yeah.
And it correlates because now he's social media, has a good fan following, which he already has,
right.
But now they see a little bit about him. He's opening up, and I like that.
All right. Now, we saw that Batman, Superman going on. Have y'all been able to repeat that in the souvenir side here?
Absolutely. We have Superman and Batman inside the store. We did extremely well with it in Fontana. Of course, the cars was on the track. Kick off to kind of the premiere. We had the Batmobile and a lot of things out there. But you got to understand, that's Superman's backyard. That's Jimmie Johnson's backyard. He lives right down the road there a few miles. And, for him to win the race, the fans collated, straight to it, and it rings in the cash register as well, which is great. It works for everybody, but it was a fitting in for him at his home track for sure.
Right. How well do you think that will sell here? Do you think
it'll do well? Yeah. Usually when we do a special back, when we did some of Dale's specials, with Peter Max or, some of the stuff that he did, it always ran about 4 to 5 weeks after the premieres and stuff of that nature. So it'll do well here this weekend. And Batman always does well. Pretty much. Batman. Mark Martin's run it. A lot of other people have ran it, and it carries a little bit further than the Superman. So
I got to ask you, since Superman won. Did that help? Which one sold the best? Superman or Batman?
Batman by far. Come on. There's a reason why Batman sells. He's in Dale Jr.'s
He's
car.
got the right guy, right?
Yeah. So that's the only reason. Now I'm not saying Jimmy didn't almost beat him out there in cross-references Batman versus Superman because it's Jimmy's home track, and Jimmy does extremely well out there.
Right.
But you got to do better than extremely well to catch his sales. It's Dale Jr. Dale Jr. is, the Dale Earnhardt of NASCAR. And they're two different drivers. They're totally different.
Right.
The mentality of sitting in a race car and what Junior's drive is to what his daddy was, totally different. They're different, okay? Get it out of everybody's mind. They're not the same correlation. Junior's purpose, what he still drives to win. He strives to be the best, but he don't have that drive that his daddy had.
Right.
Totally different mentality. Dale was surviving. It was food on the table. I'm going to get you, you get me. Nowadays, it's a little bit more, I'll pick and choose those times. But it's a totally different mentality, and that's okay. But there's a lot of up-and-coming drivers. Chase Elliott's been hot this year.
Really?
Very hot. Biggest increase of any driver since probably the rookie year of Tony Stewart. Yeah, absolutely.
Chase Elliott, number 24 there.
Yeah, so he's been doing really well. Harvick still, sponsor change with Busch. He's still in top 3 in driver sales. People don't realize he's past champion.
Earnhardt won. Who's 2?
Earnhart's won. Number 2 right now is Jimmy because we ran the West Coast swing. People don't realize Jimmy's really hot in Phoenix and Fontana and Vegas. And Harvick generally starts gaining on him about right now when we come back on the East Coast. So they're really close. They're neck and neck. Kyle Busch is, number 4 right now with the championship. So, and Danica will come in 6. She's still always there. She's a great marketing brand. She does extremely well. And I'll tell you right now, she's running better. She gets in positions that.
But do you think being a female and being able to this marketing, she can get away with that, can't she? Not quite being at the top.
Looking good gets away with a lot of things. Let's just get that straight. Looking good gets by with a lot. But I see. Kurt's been running really well. He's got a couple poles. His sales are looking a little bit better. A lot of people asking for Blaney around here. Blaney's been driving really good. 3rd fastest in practice today. Woods Brothers. The whole correlation of what's going on with the medallion series and stuff, and they kind of got out of it.
Yeah.
The fans have really gravitated towards the Woods Brothers right now. And so,
let me ask you, what in the Fanatics arena here, what do you find Woods Brothers stuff?
It's right over here. You can't see it.
We'll move over there.
Yeah, right over here besides Legends. You got to really kind of come over here and move.
Yeah.
So right over here, you see the Legends. Yeah. We just got some Darrell Waltrip product in. Of course, you got Allison, Petty. We got Yarborough in there. Right. Of course, the man, Dale Sr. And then right to the right, you see Logano, Kozlowski, and Blaney. And so he'll be in the backside of that, and you'll see a lot of Woods Brothers hats. You'll see a couple of their shirts from yesteryear.
21 look.
Oh yeah, it looks really good, and a lot of people's asking for it. They've got that. I don't want to say sympathy because they're not a part of the medallion teams with the owners, but I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people's talking about it. They got a lot of people's attention right now. A lot of people says, and the Woods Brothers have been really good to talk about. They didn't run a full schedule, and that's part of the reason why not. But they're such a mainstay in our sport. Leonard and Glenn and everybody else, and all the greats drove for them, from Yarboroughs to, Pearsons and everybody else. And I tell you right now, the Woods Brothers, they're a mainstay in our sport. And look, We can sit here and argue why they didn't get a medallion. We're not going to get into all those scenarios right now, but the fans are on their side.
Gotcha. Now, I see the legends. Tell me some of the treats we might find in there.
You have some cool stuff. We're working on a shirt. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and tell you.
Yeah. Breaking news.
We haven't really got it approved. Right. And I better not tell you.
Oh, come on.
But it's probably every driver with one. But in the last couple of years, every driver has representation, and they're very popular.
Which one sells the best, the big one or the little one?
The big one.
Right.
Yeah.
Can we go over to I want to go to the Martinsville.
Sure, come on.
Shelton, and we want to see what makes things unique to Martinsville.
Well, I'm a little partial to Martinsville. At the end of the day, Martinsville may be, if not the greatest racetrack on the circuit, by far.
I love that.
Because number one is on TV, it really doesn't show it as much justice as being here in person.
Right.
Because when you run these big races, you hardly ever see a lot of pass and different things. Where Martinsville there's action other than where the camera is at all times.
Right.
And it's pretty amazing.
Right.
And the fans are so close to the event. You go to these other tracks and you're 100 yards away or you're at a different angle. You're on the ball field at Martinsville.
Right.
You're there. It don't matter if you're in the suite. You're so towering over the short track. Martinsville just gives you a totally different perspective.